Hi everyone, coming to you from Los Angeles, California, the home of the Dance Art and Life podcast. I'm your host, Danya the Gypsy, and this is a judgment-free zone. I'm looking for stories of dancers, musicians, and artists of all walks of life, their struggles, hard work, highs and lows of their careers, but most of all, the life lessons they've learned following their passion. My next guest and his upbringing is the fuel to his fire, and he has a story to tell. It can be heard in his melodic Afrobeat tracks as well as his faster cadence and cypher style hits. TDSG, which stands for This Day Starts Good, elegantly pairs with his juxtaposition of grit and grace in his debut album Choosen Szn, second album Spirit Animal, and his latest release, Posh Life The Movie. Please welcome Born Antoine Allen, aka TDSG. Welcome, man.
Man, thanks for having me.
Fantastic. How you feeling?
I feel blessed. I feel blessed to be here for sure.
I'm really glad you said yes, and welcome officially with the whiskey situation over right here.
Let's do this.
Fantastic. All right, let's get right into it because your story is amazing. We chatted a little bit before the podcast, and when we met first time, we were just exchanging points of view and live and talk about every kind of shit. So my first question is, in the intro, it says that you're from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
So you were born and raised in Baltimore?
Yeah, I was definitely, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised. Literally moved out of Baltimore when I was around 18, 19. But, as far as just like, where my family is, everyone is in Baltimore.
It's still there, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then you moved, so you were from Baltimore and then you moved right away to LA, or because I saw your videos from Miami, man. Your music videos from Miami, and I don't know if you were in this scene there or what was the was the journey that you took?
Yeah, man. So, growing up in Baltimore, I felt like I always, I love that city. It molded me to the man that I am today.
Yeah.
But I always had goals and dreams of wanting to, see more, wanting to explore the world and, expand, outside of Baltimore. And, I saw, sports as been an opportunity and a way for me to do so, and I ended up picking up that basketball, and
gotcha.
That was the thing that paved the way for me to really see the world, you know what I mean, but also just for me to be able to get a chance to get out.
Gotcha. So let's start from the very beginning, right? You were born and then you started rapping right away.
Nah, man. I think I did hear stories. They said actually, I think they saw me with a microphone while I was still in, my mom's womb.
Got it.
But, I feel like, for me, I feel like the music has, I wouldn't say I grew up in a family background, but I did have, members of my family that did love music that I kind of gravitated to.
Gotcha. So what was your first memory of music, listening to what kind of music, what kind of style?
Yeah, oh man, I think it was a lot of things that really brought me into, I would say, hip hop, what I mean? It was definitely, I remember just being a kid and just sitting on, I remember we lived in, it was like, it was in Linwood, and I used to sit on the step in the basement and watch my uncle play the guitar. You know what I mean? And
electric or acoustic?
Electric. He would plug that thing into the radio and he would just jam literally with everything that would come on and just have fun with it. I used to always love that. And then, I remember seeing just my first, LL Cool J video. And just seeing, how he really, expressed his story, but also just how he really loved his craft and just like ain't care about what anybody thought about who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a time where a lot of things was going on in hip hop, you know, I feel like LL was definitely like a outlier through that time.
Gotcha. So I wanted to ask you about your upbringing, your growing up, you know, like, I don't know, going to school, going to, you know, kind of home environment. What was your, you know, relationship in terms of, you know, family, the dynamic in the family, plus the school environment, you know, like, because some people, they grow up in, you know, the projects, right? Some people grow up, I don't know, in poor areas, some rich, some I mean, so many artists have such a different story, upbringing, and so on. So I want to bring up like your upbringing and what influences you had growing up.
Yeah, I would say, you know, we made it through. You know, I think my family provided, you know, what was needed for us to, you know, make sure we always had a roof over our head, and
Gotcha.
you know, we always had food. And,
so you have brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I do. You know, I do have. I got 2 younger brothers, and you know, I got 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters. So.
Oh wow, man! Big family.
Big family. Big family. And you know, it's crazy because you know I said like you know, majority of my family's in Baltimore, but a couple of my sisters, they actually moved to Houston. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so
gotcha.
now they living out in Houston. You know, they actually, you know, got out of Baltimore and wanted to try something different. And now they loving it out there.
Gotcha.
So it's great to see that. You know what I mean? But you know, it's also just knowing where home is.
Gotcha. So do any of your brothers and sisters pursue artistic endeavors, singing, I don't, you know, different acting, I don't know. Do they?
It's so crazy because my older sister, she, you know, I remember, you know, seeing her just used to rap, you know, when I was a little younger, and she really loved, you know, just to, you know, write and create songs. And I thought it was cool because she actually had like a connection over at the radio and stuff like that in the city. So it was really dope just seeing her just pursue her passion, her dream. And I thought that was something that was more. But for me, it was just like really just knowing that like I just seen a pathway for me, just like really just absorbing everything that, you know, was taught to me.
Yeah, was,
you know, that I was just
in
like
front of your eyes.
Yeah, I was like a sponge. You know, I was always interested in, you know, and you know, even when I was playing basketball, you know, the music has always, you know, lived within me. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? People don't even know. Like, even when I was playing basketball in school, like, you know, I had my school support. You know, I had my school was even playing like, you know, one of my singles on the intro when we come out for like, you know, the sporting clubs, for the athletic club. So it was a good relationship. So I know at the end of the day, like, you know, I know this is something that I'm made to do. You know, it's just you know.
So was the school supporting your artistic endeavors from the get-go, right?
Yeah. So I think even when I was at University of Miami, so that's where I went to school.
Miami, there you go. There you go.
Exactly. So so I ended up getting into Miami. I was around 19, getting ready to turn 20.
Gotcha.
That was my freshman year. You know, when I was coming out of school, I was definitely one of the, you know, the top players coming out of Baltimore, and just getting ready to. You know, I had goals and dreams of, you know, playing in the NBA. You know, that was my passion. That was, you know, the one thing that I was focused on.
So was basketball before your rapping or artistic endeavors?
Yeah, basketball was definitely the focus. You know what I mean?
How old were you when you started basketball?
I was definitely playing with the basketball in the womb. But you know, when I first played on an official team, it was definitely when I was around like 9 years old. You know,
cool. Yeah.
You know, like when my aunt Carolyn, she put me on my first basketball team, and she's the one that I used to look up to in my family. That really did, you know, major things in the family that really inspired me, and she was, you know, my role model. You know what I mean?
Auntie.
Your
Aunt
Aunt Carolyn. Yep.
Gotcha. So your sister, was it older sister or younger sister? The one that was rapping.
Yeah, my older sister.
Older sister.
Yeah.
So you kind of had an invitation into this world to actually see what it's about and what the creative process is.
Yeah, without even knowing. Just seeing her do it. You know what I mean? And just.
So she had like a cassette player too.
Yeah, she was creating songs and everything, and she was like, she really, you know, my sister can really rap. You know, even it's so funny because I look at, you know, my nieces and my nephews, her kids.
Yeah.
And they're super talented too as well. You know, they artistic as well, just like their mom. And, you know, and it's so crazy. I just heard them, all three of them, on a song together, and I was like, wow,
that's
crazy.
Awesome, man.
You know what I mean? But you know, it's really dope. That's what music does. You know what I mean? That's what music does. It really brings something special, and that's why, you know, I love it. It
uplifts you and kind of, you know, channeling the expression of yourself. Yeah. We get to it. We get to your process, but I still want to stay within, you know, the upbringing, because I want to get a sense where, you know, this break happened, or where this direction or this you know, push came from, right? So it was just your sister, and then I guess you were watching TV, MTV, I don't know, like R&B channels. I don't know. You tell me.
No, I literally think, you know, my motivation comes from just life in general, you know, just like me, just, you know, for me, just kind of the beginning of the story, you know, for me, like, you know, I never knew my dad, you know, I never met my dad, never, you know, so that's same here. You know, so that's always been a mystery, you know, so, in my, you know.
To this day, you don't know?
Nah.
Oh. Did your mom didn't want to tell you, or?
Well, and that's the thing, you know, I never, you know, I don't really have a relationship with my mom.
Got it.
You know, you know, she's definitely, you know, she's, I'm you know, my family tell me she's doing well.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's great. You know, for me, I just love that, you know, she's doing well for herself.
Gotcha. So you never lived with your mom, or you lived with your mom a little bit and then you went away to your auntie, I guess, or?
Yeah, so, you know, for me, I was born a crack baby, right? So, you know, my mom wasn't really able to take care of me. Right?
Gotcha.
So therefore, you know, my family knew that, you know, my mom wasn't able to take care of me, so they was going to, you know, they
took you. Yeah.
Yeah, so by the time, you know, so I ended up having to go through just like, you know, the whole foster care system, and, you know,
despite your family taking you in,
they still gotta go through that process.
Gotcha.
To, you know,
so they basically adopted you.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
You know, so my mom, you know, my mom who gave birth, I'm actually the oldest. You know, I'm the first.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right, but when I got adopted to my, you know, my aunt, you know, she had her kids. You know what I mean? So.
So this is why you calling them brothers and sisters?
Yeah, of course.
Gotcha,
you know,
gotcha.
I was there since, you know, I was an infant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
You know, they raised me, so.
Yeah. I feel you when you say I'm blessed. I feel you. I'm getting to know you better, you know. So it's like, wow, man, that's tough. So you were living with your auntie then in school. So you started playing basketball in the school, right?
Yeah, so I got into basketball through my other, you know, not my aunt that, you know, raised me, but like my other aunt that, you know, her and my mom, they actually had the same mom and dad.
Gotcha.
You know, and, you know, my aunt, she just took me under her wing, you know, and, you know, me and her just became really...
Hi, auntie.
Yeah. Aunt Carolyn, I love you already know. So she just took me under her wing, and, you know, you'd have thought that I was hers, you know what I mean? And she really just molded me, put that basketball in my hand, and, you know, just gave me, you know, hope that I could get out, and, you know, she helped me along the way. So. But
question, did you, I don't know how old you were when you went through the foster care and so on, but did you realize in this moment that you in this situation, or it was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm living with my auntie, or you, when she took you, you were so young that you just thought it's your mom, and later on she explains to you what happened. How was it? How was that?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of confusion for me, you know, in the beginning of my childhood, you know. Not even a lot of people know. Like for me, I laugh about it now, but you know, I even had the first, you know, my last name wasn't even the right last name. I had to get my name changed because I had the wrong person last name, right?
Oh fuck.
But not only even that, I was even, you know, my birthday, you know, I was celebrating my birthday in the wrong day too as well. So
no kidding.
Yeah, man. But you know, right now, you know, I know exactly who I am and things of that. So I have a lot more clarity.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know.
Well, who you are, I mean, the process of, you know, going through the world and who you are, of course you know who you are, but is it, I'm thinking for myself, because I had a similar situation, you know, but my grandma took care of me most of the time because my mom was, you know, back and forth. Anyhow, so the history just tells you where you're coming from, but who you are, you figured out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Life experiences.
Exactly, right.
You know what I mean? And you know, something you learn a lot through life lessons.
Exactly. Exactly. Why I'm going to it, because I'm thinking about like it, where you come from is not necessarily telling you who you are, because you make who you are. You know what I mean? Like that's why I wanted to touch on upbringing, because I wanted to understand the history and then what forged you to be who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your auntie put the basketball in your hands and you just grinded, you just going for it.
Yeah, literally, she was my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, like even at my games, I'm telling you, and she, you know, it's crazy because like not only did she play in college, you know, at a high level, she played at St. Peter's, and you know, she got a chance to play professionally.
Yeah.
And,
oh wow! So she was a basketball lady.
Yeah, she was. She played. Yeah,
Gotcha.
And her jersey number was number 12, and my jersey number was number 12 too as well. So you know, we represented that Allen in the family, right?
Nice.
But you know, then she ended up becoming a referee, and then she ended up refereeing like you know, high college Division I basketball,
Gotcha.
And then you know, the
Nice.
WNBA.
And
then you know, so therefore I used to always be with my aunt, you know, just going to her, watching her, you know, play these games. But not only that, you know, she was my biggest fan at all my games. She ain't miss a lot of games, trust me. Like, if she could, she was there.
Yeah.
And she would let them have it, you know. But she was just like my biggest supporter.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because I think to have someone in your life like this, it just pushes you forward, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, you were in the school. How long you played basketball for? I mean, you still playing or?
Well, I play now for fun.
Just for fun, right?
Yeah.
So professionally, how long you played though?
I played professionally 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
So you were working up, well, not only 3 years, but you were playing in the school, working on your craft, and then 3 years after you kind of, you know, reached a level, you played for 3 years.
Yeah.
So what happened? Why did you stop?
Well, I think it was for me, man. I felt like I wanted to do something different, you know. And I feel like basketball was definitely all my life. I always had this struggle of what I wanted to do as far as just my passion with my artistry.
Gotcha.
Being an artist, you know, just having fun with the art and connecting with people. But not only that, man, just like, you know, I love fashion, so it was more so about just really just getting into.
I see that. Do you see that, people? Do you see that, my man?
Come on, we having fun with it. Come on, cheers.
Cheers, man. So it was fashion. It was kind of the whole artist. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm dressing certain way. I'm little bit extravagant, right? And I don't know, I see many similarities in terms of the upbringing, and then you kind of looking for yourself, you searching yourself, and then you kind of arrive, and then the style just kind of develops and it's going, you know? So your artistic endeavors, right? You said you were starting your basketball game when you were 9 years old, or a little bit earlier, but 9 was the time
like when I started like playing on 14.
Playing, okay. So, and then your rapping situation started with your sister, but how old were you when this started, or when you started to noticing that you actually like this type of thing?
Probably when I was in high school, when I did like one of the talent shows, and you know, and we you know, me and one of my other friends that was doing music at the time, he was a little more into it than me, but I knew I wanted to have fun with it some way.
Yeah.
You know, I was his hype man. You know what I mean? At it, and that was like the first time it kicked off for me, where I was like, man, I actually like being up here, like having fun with these people. Like it was
on the stage, actually on the stage, and do gotcha. So, a fun question: when did you write your first song? How old were you?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry. First of all, when was the talent show? How old were you when?
I was in high school. That was like around like my 10th grade year.
Which is
sophomore.
12, 13?
Nah, I was definitely from like 15.
15,
16.
Gotcha. I have no clue about American freshman high school, so you need to tell me the years.
Nah, because I was around like 15, 16.
Yeah, gotcha. So, perfect. And your first song, when did you write your first song?
It was me and like, you know, this was like, you know, it was me and like one of my best friends.
Gotcha.
And, you know, rest in peace to, you know, AC, you know.
What happened to him?
So he was, you know, killed in Baltimore.
Fuck, man.
You know, and that was like, you know, me and him.
So you got all of it. You got all of it. Like, hardcore.
Yeah.
Shit, man. What was the song about? How old were you?
We was around like 14, 15. Yeah, we was.
And it was a rapping. Do you have it somewhere, or did you tape
man,
it?
I don't. But it's so crazy, man. I wish. You know, I don't remember the raps, but I think my first rap name was crazy. It was what was it? It's so crazy now I think about it. I always did acronyms. It was DS.YF.
Which stands for what?
Determined. What'd I say?
I have no clue.
Oh yeah, DS. So it's determined, sexy, young, and flashy.
Ah, okay. At 14.
Yeah,
my man.
You know,
Yeah.
But we was just, you know, we was just loving the rap. We was like one of those kids that used to be outside, you know, beatboxing, just like like, you know, freestyling. You know, just coming up with words and just was having fun with it. You know, so I think that's where it started.
Perfect. So, another question. When so the basketball is going on, right? And you start in rapping in 14, 15 type of thing. But what was your thought process, if you can remember, because it's, you know, a while ago. If you could remember, what was your plan in terms of what you want to do? Because you said you were searching kind of your passion, but you were playing basketball, and I don't know if it was your passion or you were torn between your basketball playing and then, you know, starting to actually explore this rapping and writing and kind of music type of thing. What was your
when I was younger, my main focus was basketball.
Yeah. But do you remember what was your thought process? Like, did you think that, okay, basketball is my thing, I make it in basketball, and I want to do it professionally, I want to, you know, kind of make it in basketball? Or were you torn between kind of Basketball?
No, it was more so I needed to make it in basketball.
Gotcha,
I didn't
gotcha.
think I could make it in, musically, at that time,
Why you think so? Why you think so?
Because I think I wasn't, I didn't, I was just doing the music for fun.
For fun,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? It wasn't really about me like really being a.
So you didn't think of it as a career?
Nah, I didn't at all.
Yeah.
For me, my way getting out was basketball.
Gotcha. So the rapping situation was only with your friends having fun, type of leisure thing, yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
Gotcha. So your first song was written when you were 14 with your friends, or friend. Rest in peace. And then from this mark, or the, let's call it milestone of the talent show, right? After the talent show, you were like, okay, I like it. I like to be on stage. I like to rap, express myself, entertain people and so on. Did you then start to think about it as oh yeah, that's fun, I want to do it more often? Or was it like, oh, fuck this basketball shit, I want to do music? Or was it like a big aha moment, or was it just like, oh yeah, I like this shit? How was it for you?
Yeah, I think for me that moment didn't happen until when I got in college, when it came to that moment where I felt like I had that confliction, and I had to make a decision. But when in high school, my main focus was basketball.
Gotcha.
Music wasn't really something that I really took serious until my freshman year in college.
Gotcha. So what happened in your freshman year in college? What was it like, a kind of concert, or what happened there that you had the conflicting situation going on?
Oh, man, this story.
I wanna hear it all, man.
No, I love it. But yeah, so this is my freshman year at University of Miami. This is so crazy, but this is where I actually met my first producer, named Don Jarvis.
I just thought you'd tell me about your sweetheart. But okay, producer. Okay, hi producer. Let's go.
Don Jarvis, man, what's up, bro? You already know. Let's go. Yammer.
What does it mean, yammer?
Yammer, it just means like it's a good expression. It's a positive vibration.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like it's a confirmation.
And he has a song, Yammer.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yammer. Yeah, Don Jarvis, he was from Atlanta. I remember met my boy in the cafeteria. And it was so random, but I was playing basketball.
Nothing is random, man.
I know.
Yeah.
It was definitely in perfect alignment.
Gotcha.
And we didn't even know it. He told me he had a studio in his dorm room. Like, how you gonna tell me that? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, nah, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy, because like I love music, but I ain't have a place where I could like record. That's the last thing I was thinking. For me, I'm there to play basketball. Right?
Yeah.
But me and him, we just clicked. We just clicked. And then he was like, come past the come through the dorm. I was like, all right, bet. So I ended up, going through the dorm, and he had the nice little setup in his room, and we got to work. We ended up creating some really cool records that kind of surfaced at the time, and that's where the journey, of Tweez began. My freshman year at University of Miami, in Miami.
So your artistic name was Tweez.
Tweez.
Does it mean something?
Well,
Tweez.
Yeah, Tweez stimulated from, my real name. My real name, which is Antoine. And, so, a lot of my friends used to call me because I like to rap. Yeah. So they used to be like, Tweezy.
Tweezy, yeah.
But I ain't like, Tweezy, because at the time it was like Lil Wayne and Weezy.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Wheezy. Yeah. Gotcha,
so I ain't like
gotcha.
the Tweezy, so I was like, but I do like Tweez. Like it got a cool little sound to it.
Yeah.
But then I started realizing there was too many other people out there who had names that were similar. Tweezer, Tweezy, Tweeds. Gotcha, it was just a lot of different names, and I was just like, man, I need to create something more authentic to who I am, and just be something different than what everybody else is.
So how you came up with this day TDSG? Mm-hmm. This day starts good. I like that though.
Yeah, TDSG. I feel like it was a journey to get here. You know what I mean? I feel like depending on when you jumped on this ride with me, it's like you'll know exactly. But people who've known me for a long time, they've seen the evolution.
Yeah.
And now, TDSG symbolizes this day starts good. Before this, I was Tweez, the swaggy God.
Swaggy God.
Yeah. Right now
I saw those music videos.
Yeah.
Pretty good, man.
I appreciate that. I just try to, bring the music to life and, bring something that's good.
Gotcha.
For the eye. You know what I mean? But also just, just have fun with it.
Gotcha,
for me, it's all about just enjoying what you do.
Yeah. So you met this producer, right? Is there any songs that you had that made it, or not made it, came to life or seen the light of the day? You know what I mean? So it's not like, because I'm writing myself some songs, not rapping, right? I started when I was watching always MTV rapping videos. Tupac is my hero favorite. Come right on. Fellow Gemini. What can I tell you, man? On. Yeah, but some songs of that era, did they make it to your current albums, or was it kind of like those first endeavors where you kind of proud of the song but also embarrassed? I know myself, I'm embarrassed of some of songs that I wrote, because at the time it was like, man, I wrote this, it's so cool, and then you listen to it like a few years later and you go like, oh shit, what did I think?
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And it's crazy just to listen to the songs that you created so long ago.
Yeah.
It's like, because I know my sound is so much different now.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Don, we created a couple songs that was like really caught fire. And I think that's the thing that really, sparked something in me where I was like, oh, snap. Like, I could do something like this. Is crazy, because I had a song called Chuck Taylors and Levi's. And Chuck Taylors and Levi's was surfacing all around the campus. So people was knowing the song all on campus. They was playing it in dorm. Like, it was going crazy. People was coming up to me on campus about the song. So
gotcha.
I was like, okay, like, this is crazy, right? And then I had a song. We created a song called Party. And this song was like a club song. And I ended up building great relationships with a lot of the club DJs
clubs
and stuff.
Around
on South Beach. And so next thing you know, my guys, DJ Efeezy, DJ Knowledge, Stevie J, all these DJs out there, they just started showing me a lot of love. You know what I mean? So and next thing you know, I was like, man,
performing in clubs and
I had Miami on fire. You know what I mean? It was crazy, because it was like I didn't expect it, but like at the end of the day, like we was just having fun. Gotcha. I was lit, and these guys became my friends.
Gotcha. So it was Miami where. The university or the college?
Yeah, University of Miami,
yeah. So the spark started there, right? And then when you finish college, were you clear about, no, basketball ain't it? It's the music, it's the artistry.
Yeah.
Or what? How? What was going on there? When this this like I don't know how to call it, alignment. This. Oh, no, basketball ain't it. It's the music. When did it came to you? What was the moment? Do you remember the moment, or it's like it was gradual? What was the moment?
Yeah, I think it was definitely something that kind of happened along the way, because my story gets a little deeper. Like it got to the point where when in school, I ended up dropping out of school. Right, I dropped out of school to pursue the music career.
Gotcha.
And
so it was while doing school where you said, okay, basketball ain't it.
Yeah,
I like this music thing so much that that's it.
Because I had a manager at the time too. During that freshman year, I ended up getting like a manager, because I told you I had these 2 singles, and he was actually pushing a record out in Germany, like overseas. And, and I was, it was new, but I was, you
were determined, on fire. Right?
Yeah.
Now, which 2 singles were it?
That was the song "Party," and then the song "Chuck Taylors and Levi's."
Gotcha. When did the fantastic song happen? Because I really like this song, man. Right? How is it going?
If you ride with me, I will ride with you. Feels good when you get money with the crew. Ask me how I'm feeling, say I feel fantastic. My ex-chick mad, come I knew fantastic.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah,
I like this song. I like this song a lot, man. So, you dropped out of school, and then you were starting. So you were in Miami, and you were pursuing the career actively in Miami. What was the process of it? Like, you had the manager, right?
Yeah.
And then Don was your producer and manager, or just producer?
No, he was just my producer.
Producer. And who was your manager?
So I had a guy. I don't even want to put his name out there.
Okay.
But
no.
Yeah, it was this guy. And I was young, man. I didn't really know the business and things of that nature. And
did you scam you?
I wouldn't say scam, but I just learned a lot.
Gotcha.
It was a learning lesson.
Yeah.
And you had to. You gotta. I feel like you gotta pay your dues in some way.
Of course. Yeah.
And for me, it was just, I was just a young, hungry kid that had some good music, and he saw that, and
Do you feel like he was exploiting you, or giving you false hopes or something?
Well,
we're getting into it.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
I'm just interested, like, the process, because it's like you hear the stories, but I want to know from you, from your own personal experience.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I just felt like the business wasn't right. And by the business not being right, therefore, was I taken advantage of? Of course,
Yeah.
But everything came to light, and we ended up getting everything squared away, and it worked out. But at the end of the day, it was
a learning lesson. Yeah. It was a learning process.
Yeah.
So, at that time when you dropped out of school and you have those singles, you already did performances in clubs and so on and so forth.
So I was performing.
You were in the scene. You had your feet in the scene, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now, wanted to ask you, because we chatted outside. I don't want to, intervene, but you said about your high school sweetheart, and we have something in common. We have sons. Right, I want to touch on that, because you said
cheers to that. Oh,
cheers. I'm out, but we good.
Okay. Oh.
So, hi, son. I don't know if you want to.
Chase, what's up, baby?
Chase. Is his name Chase?
That's my son's name.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
he know what it is. What's up, Playboy?
Ah, man. So,
what's your son's name?
Lev, Lev.
Lev.
Yeah, it means lion.
Lion.
Yeah.
I like that. Chase.
Yeah. Chase.
You know, means king. I don't know.
Man. So you said, we had a little chat. I'm exposing a little bit, you know.
No, you good.
And you said it just changed your perspective when you got your son. You know, like when your son was born, you said, you know, it was your sweetheart. And tell the story, because I don't want to expose something that you don't want to tell, you know. So tell me about, you know, how it happened.
Yeah, no. So my son, you know, that's definitely my motivation. You know, that's the reason I wake up every day. That's why I gotta go hard. I gotta pave the way for him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he, you know, me and his mom, you know, that was definitely my high school sweetheart.
That
was someone that we was together, you know, a lot of my high school year, you know, and you know, we created something special.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm definitely thankful for him, and you know, and definitely appreciate her for, you know, just doing what she does for, you know, our son.
Yeah, gotcha. So, did it affect your musical endeavors when he was born, or was it kind of like, is it, I guess I'm asking, when he was born, was it like, okay, I gotta, you know, get a regular job, abandon my dreams, and stop the music and stop my endeavors in the artistic thing because it's not safe, I guess. You know, did you have thoughts like that, or how was this feeling? Like you said you got to know that, oh, she's pregnant, right? And then you go like, shit. So did you have any thoughts about, okay, you know, I gotta, you know, get a job, you know, take care of him. It's my son, it's my flesh and blood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what was the thinking process in terms of when you got to know or found out that, okay, I will have a son or I will have a kid, you know, like, did you contemplate it like, oh shit, I gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
nah. I think for me, I was around that time. I was still in, you know, I was a freshman in college. You know, I was just getting there, and you know.
So you were young. You were like,
I was
what,
young.
18,
So
18, 19?
Yep,
something
19,
like that. Yeah.
So I was definitely like in a space where I was trying to figure out exactly what I needed to do, and that's why I said I think for me I was trying to make it in any way. You know,
Gotcha.
You know, my goal was to, you know, play in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that was the one reason, you know, why I went. You know, I wanted to go to a major school. Was to make sure to go there and, you know, just really play well and, you know, get drafted, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, this music thing happened, and then I had that going, and then you know, it was just a lot of things going on that, you know, was unexpected, but it was fun. But you know, for me, I feel like it was everything that I just had to learn. You know what I mean? It was all part of the journey.
Gotcha. So you had the thoughts, right? Like going, oh shit, I gotta make it because
I gotta make it anyway.
I'm having son. Yeah. I have a son coming. This
I have
and
my
that.
family support too, as
exactly,
well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So you know, you being a college athlete, you know, it's a full-time job.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't. And at this time, this was a little fresh in, you know, when my son was just being born. And you know, I wouldn't say me and my baby's mother was on the exact same page at the time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
rough.
You know, it wasn't my ideal, you know, startup. But at the end of the day, I am thankful for where we are today.
Gotcha. So you have a good relationship with mom and then son. Of course, he comes spend summers with you and stuff, right? It's awesome, man. Yeah, but it's definitely, we chatted. I have some, special conversation before the podcast. We were chatting outside, grabbing a smoke, cigar, and so on. Yeah, we talked about that the sun actually motivates you to actually push in and keep going. It's the same for me. Like when my son was born, it was like, oh, we see the artist face right now in the eyes.
I'm here.
You're here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we chatted about that. There is some force. Being a father, being a role model, or strive for being a role model and push it, right? Push it harder.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So we have this chapter, we have this part of you closed up, right? Mm-hmm. So now you have a single. Just a side question. You have a single called Bad Boy, and the thing goes, bad boy looking for a real thing.
Ting.
Oh shit, I misunderstood. So what does it mean exactly?
I mean,
you real for the real thing?
Yeah, but it's ting, like Ting,
which means
thing, like they're like the real ting, but it's like a tenderoni, like she's a. I need.
Gotcha.
I need that.
So not the real relationship, the real thing.
No, but the real ting.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. It's a play with words. Okay.
Yeah, play with words. Yeah.
I just want to clarify, because the real thing was like, you're a bad boy but looking for a real thing. So real love or just real thing?
Well, I think I'm open for both.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think it's, you never know where it comes from anyway, right?
Gotcha. So you're looking for a relationship or just hookups, or let's just open the book and let's just be real. Ladies, listen.
Yeah, I think for me it's really about, I'm in a place where I'm really focused on, career.
Gotcha,
right?
gotcha. No distractions.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But, at the end of the day, as individuals, as humans, we all need that space to feel loved, right?
Yeah.
And, in someone to, bring that peace.
Gotcha.
So that's something that's very important to me.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have somebody semi-special or special that is right now in your life?
Well, I think,
not to spill some secrets, but I just asking. You can refuse to answer. Do you have somebody that has the real thing?
Hey,
I'm playing with you, man.
That's why I said real bad boy looking for the real thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't.
You feel
okay,
what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Real bad boy looking for the real thing.
There you go. Some rapping going on. Okay, so you in Miami, right? This manager, kind of, you figuring out the game and so on and so forth. What happened afterwards? Did you split with the manager, or what's going on there?
Yeah,
at that time.
At that time I had a choice to make. Because he was telling me that I couldn't really do both. At this time, he was telling me.
So he was saying no basketball, just music.
Yeah.
So you listened. That's why you drop off of school.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you were making money with some shows already that time, right?
So I couldn't. Yeah, you got to understand. Like I was playing in the NCAA, so I couldn't make money.
Playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing basketball.
Yeah, now they got things going on where they can get endorsements and everything like that.
Exactly, right.
But at that time, you couldn't really do anything outside. Otherwise, that was a violation.
Gotcha. Well, I think it's still violation today, but because they don't pay them for the playing, they have just advertisement, endorsement, or contracts, it's not considered paid for basketball or for the sport, right? Like American football and stuff.
Influence.
Yeah. So you said, okay, music it is, right? Then you pursue that. Did you bring? So you had those two singles. Then you had, of course, music that you worked on, right? How much later or how long it took to actually, because I saw some music videos from Miami, right? So how long it took to actually produce some more stuff after you dropped out of school?
Yeah. That's crazy. I went through a tough patch during that time, because that's where I actually discovered and I learned a lot about, what my manager at the time, what he was doing, and, behind the scenes. And that's
Hustling.
where we kind of had that falling out. And, for me, you got to understand, I just dropped out of school and, it really, he was providing a lot at the time, right?
Gotcha.
So that kind of like left me in a tough spot, and I ended up being in Miami, being homeless and everything. You know what I mean? So like, and but at the end of the day, that just motivated me even more. You know what I mean?
How long you were homeless in Miami?
Probably a couple months.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like sleeping on the bridge or on the beach? Or?
Yeah, I was sleeping on South Beach. Yeah, literally. I was out there on that, but we had good weather, so it wasn't the cold air, it was the hot air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hot air and it's rain too. I mean,
I didn't get a lot of rain. No, I was good. But for me, it was just like I was gonna figure out a way, and I had to figure out what I needed to do to get back on track. I knew I had a lot of talent, and I knew it was just a rough patch for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have made some wrong decisions, but I had to learn from them, right?
Gotcha.
And I had to make up for it.
So how did you get back on your feet?
Yeah, so
I mean, fuck, this is amazing, man. Amazing in terms of like a story, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I didn't know that you were homeless. So what were your thoughts? Like where did you get food? Where did you shit, man, you're blowing my mind right now. Fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was just hustling everything I could out there on the beach. You know what I mean?
It was selling shit or whatever.
Yeah, and then I gotta. And it's so crazy because, I would, when my family would get in contact, call me. I would act like everything was all good. So
I didn't want to concern them.
Yeah, exactly.
About your situation.
Yeah, so I would act like everything was fine in Miami and things of that nature.
Did they know now, or will it?
Well, yeah, they ended up.
Okay.
They did. They found out.
From who?
Because when I ended up getting back, so I ended up like one of my really good friends that I used to play high school basketball with was now in Palm Beach. So he went to a junior college.
Gotcha.
So when he came to Florida, he called me. He was like, I'm in Florida. Where you at? I'm coming to Miami. I'm like, oh, what you doing in Florida? Like, what's going on? He's like, I'm up here. I'm hooping. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, all right, bet. So for me at this time, I'm like, man, I don't know if this is a blessing from God.
Yeah.
Like, I've been looking for my second chance.
Gotcha.
I'm just, I'm like, because my aunt, remember my supportive Aunt Carolyn, and then my aunt who adopted me, right?
Yeah.
They always supported me.
Yeah.
But they always told me, like, we wish you didn't drop out. That you should have been, you should have kept on
going,
your basketball because your basketball was creating the opportunity for your music.
Gotcha.
And but they always still supported me along the way, right? So that's why I love them, unconditionally, because they love me unconditionally, and so literally, I forgot where I was going with that.
The guy called you and you go like, oh yeah, I got a second chance. Yeah.
So exactly. So my boy Chris, he was literally, at Palm Beach State, and next thing you know, I was like, yo, so when y'all have an open gym, like, when the next time y'all gonna get a run in? He's like, yo, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna keep you posted.
Gotcha.
So I was like, all right, bet. So when he told me that, I was like, hold on, make sure you let your coach know that I'm gonna be coming up there. I'm gonna hoop with y'all. He's like, all right, bet I'm gonna let coach know, because, like in the basketball world in this time, like, I'm not saying I was the biggest basketball player, but like, you were good. I was. Nobody could, I do what I do out there,
I saw some videos on Instagram. You pretty good, man.
Yeah. So he ended up telling coach, and then next thing you know, I ended up coming up there I went to Palm Beach and I went to an open gym. And next thing you know, I was playing against like their players, and I mean, I was a little rusty, but I still was killing them. You feel me? And the next thing you know, I seen coach in there. So next thing you know, coach pulled me to a side. He was like, hey, Antoine, come here. So next thing you know, he pulled me in the office, and, he set me down. He's like, man, you look good out there. He's like, he was like, how's everything going? Then he of course he asked, he's like, how's the music? Because you gotta think they already now
they already knew your story and stuff.
So now he's like, how's the music? I'm like, coach, everything good, the music, but, I'm here, I'm focused on basketball. Like, I'm here, this is, I know what I need to do. Like, this is, so he's like, all right, man. But yeah, he's like, all right, well, what I'll do is, he's like, right now we don't got any scholarships available, but what I'll do is I'll reach out to a couple other coaches, let them know that you're looking to get back into the market.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, perfect, coach. I appreciate that. So, literally, went back out there. We was having a little more fun. Literally left, right? And the next thing you know, like day or two later, coach ended up calling me, and he was just like, "Hey, Antoine, like, how would you like a scholarship for Palm Beach State?" And
no way.
I was like, coach, I didn't, think they had any scholarships available, but but. I just figured it was just God just, paving the way.
Gotcha.
Ended up getting a second chance. Butch Estes gave me my second chance, and, he brought me up there, and the next thing you know, we ended up being like one of the top schools, teams in junior college. We had some really good players on my team that went off to really good schools.
Gotcha.
And, that's when I ended up finishing my senior year at University of South Alabama out in Mobile, and that's where I got my degree, my BA from.
So you dropped out, but then you finished.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How was the homeless? Few months, you said?
Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah, they wrote it about it in the paper. You can go Google it. You probably still find it, yeah.
Gotcha. Damn, man. I didn't know that about you. Fuck. That's so interesting. So you went to Alabama to university?
Yeah, University of South Alabama.
Gotcha.
USA.
You finish it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then while being there playing basketball, that was your 3 years that you were playing, you said, professionally?
I finished 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So Miami you started again, and then you went to Alabama, so there was 2 years, and then in Miami.
My freshman year, and then the Palm Beach State when I went to junior college.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Awesome, man. And then after you graduated, so you were still doing music though, right?
Yeah, so now my junior year, because remember I said like I had songs that was going
exactly.
crazy.
Right.
So now my school, they know I do both, and
even in Alabama.
In Alabama,
gotcha,
yeah, because I shot a couple of music videos while I was out there, right?
Gotcha, okay.
Chasing Great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. That's a classic record. But shout out to my guys out in Mobile, and shout out to Jaguars. Shout out USA. But yeah, no, I think at that time I was getting support from my school. You know what I mean? And it was really cool to come out you know,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
your
yeah.
record, you know, and we had a
Gotcha.
layup line. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
You feel me? And it was
Uh-huh.
called "Turn Down for What," and it was a lit song. It was a lit
Yeah,
song.
yeah. So your school, okay, school, you mean students, your peers, or also school like the, you know,
Yeah,
teachers, directors, they were supporting your music as well, or?
yeah, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, nah, like literally, like yeah, it was the come out song. You know,
Mm-mm-mm.
it was, you know, they would all be asking me about, you know, when new music dropping, you know, my team, like, and that's when I started realizing, like, oh crap, like, you know, people want to hear new
Yeah,
music, you know what I mean?
they want to be, yeah,
Exactly, and that's where I was like, okay, when I seen that, like, I was getting school support,
It
you
was
know.
like a confirmation for you to actually continue to pursue, right?
Exactly. And then I had the DJs in Mobile playing the records at the parties,
right.
the clubs. So now, you know, I'm starting to learn, because remember, I'm coming from Miami. I learned already how to like maneuver. So now I'm in Mobile. I'm connecting with, you know, DJs and stuff, and you know, they rocking with me. And now I'm recording out there in Mobile. So even when I'm playing basketball, I got the studio. So I'm doing a little bit of both too. You know what I mean?
So the basketball actually saved you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a great story, man. Wow. So you're there, you're doing your music, and then after you finish college, you stay in Alabama, or you came back to Miami?
Yeah, so literally the day I graduated college is when I lost my mom, right?
Oh.
So I lost my mom. Rest in peace to my mom, and, you know, lost her to, you know, the cancer.
Yeah.
So that was
Wait, mom, your biological mom,
my
or
mom that adopted me.
your mom that adopted you?
Yeah.
So it was your auntie.
Yeah. But I call her my mom. You feel me?
Exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, my biological mom who gave birth to me, she's still alive.
Gotcha. Sorry to hear that, man. That was the mom that supported your basketball.
No, that's my aunt.
That's your aunt. Okay, gotcha. So
both on my aunt, but my mom is.
Gotcha.
See how I said my life is complicated?
Yeah. But I wanted to understand, you know, like the whole situation there. Gotcha. So at that time, you lost your mom, and then did it affect your decision to actually go back to Miami or stay in Alabama, or what was going on?
My goal was, you know, I had an, you know, an agent at the time, and, you know, my goal was to go, you know, I had a couple professional workouts, couple teams and stuff like that, and, you know,
basketball wise,
you know, opportunities, and you know, just my judgment wasn't there. You know, I didn't make the right decisions, and, you know, I just didn't have that clarity. I felt a little lost at that time, you know, just losing my mom, you know, ended up went back to Miami, and I kind of just like used that year to kind of like, you know, I was just living my life, you know, I was just trying to figure out a lot of things, right? And
so you were mourning your mom, basically.
I was focusing a lot more on my music. I was really just in Miami, just
putting all out.
Yeah. And
would you say it was really because the loss was so great that you kind of just wanted to immerse yourself into work and you know, just work and put out music and just be creatively expressive, or was it you didn't want to pursue the basketball because you were hurt?
Yeah, I think at that time I was definitely confused. I didn't know how to deal with it. And, you know, I wouldn't say like my love for basketball left, but I just didn't want to play. You know, and
so basically your world broke down.
Yeah, it did.
With that loss.
You know, I never, you know, it was a different feeling. You know what I mean? She, you know, she raised me. So, Yeah.
I'm getting a little emotional.
Am I?
Sorry, man.
No, you good.
Well, you like, you know, I don't know, just little bits and pieces. Now, you went back to Miami, right? And then you worked on music. You said a year or something like that.
Yeah, that year.
Putting out music. I mean, songs, and then doing music videos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you said you had an agent there. Or where was the agent? Was it in Miami, Alabama? Where was that?
Yeah, so the agent that I had at that time, we ended up having a fallout because I missed out on a couple opportunities that I was supposed to go to.
So but it wasn't the original one that you had first time in Miami, or was it the same one?
It was a different agent on the second time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first one, he kind of like cut me off.
Yeah. Gotcha.
No, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, after that year, came around, I was like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta figure this out, man. Like, it was a struggle, you know. Yeah. And I was like, man, I gotta
figure out what, the music thing.
No, I gotta figure out life, like what it is that I wanna, like, what do I wanna do right now? I gotta, first and foremost, I gotta have a stable living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And music wasn't paying, the bills for me at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I got an opportunity to, to go play professional basketball.
Gotcha.
I'm crazy not to, pursue this and put in all this work.
Yeah.
Like, my one goal was to go to the NBA. All right, if I'm not gonna make it in the NBA, then I still can go play at a high level overseas, right?
Gotcha.
Still can make some good money.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they told me that, they didn't think that, it would be a good idea because I took that year off.
Yeah.
But for me, I just knew, I knew I was capable. I knew my talent. I knew that, if I worked really hard and, I had the right people in my corner, I knew I could put myself in a position
and I mean,
to get
you're
an
a
opportunity.
beast. I mean, I'm watching you on Instagram. You always in the gym. You I mean, the grind. You're not shy, to go and I say get dirty with the, in the gym, or like get sweaty, or what you know what I mean? Like I watch your stories and so on. You're constantly working out, constantly going at it. So I wouldn't, as you say, like I was sure about, I'm working hard, I can make it,
Yeah.
So what happened then? You were, after this year, did you commit to some basketball team or?
Yeah, so once I got my agent was like, he's from DC.
For basketball. Yeah,
for basketball. And, he believed in me. He really was like, man, you're an NBA player caliber, NBA caliber type of player.
Gotcha.
I think that might be a little bit of the whiskey talk.
Don't worry, keep going, keep drinking, drinking.
But we had a game plan, and that was to get me an opportunity overseas, and we executed that game plan.
Gotcha.
And
so you went to overseas.
I went overseas. I was in Spain for 2 years.
Spain. Yeah, they have good basketball teams.
Yeah. So that was, a great experience where I got a chance to, make some really great money, playing at a very high level. Getting a chance to play in the NBL, so that was really great. And then ended up going to the Czech Republic.
No kidding.
So ended
I'm
up
from Czechoslovakia.
So,
we even met and we don't know.
We probably have. You ever been to Prague?
Of course.
All right, so then we probably have. I'm telling you, we probably partied a little bit back in the day. I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, man. And then my third season. That's when I finished out in the Czech Republic.
Yeah. So, what happened afterwards? You weren't hired, or you just said, "Okay, I just want to do music."
So I think after that year, so now I came to this conflict where,
gotcha.
I was pretty much overseas majority of the year, and I wasn't really, having great conversation with my son.
Yeah.
And I think that was for me about like family, of wanting to be a little closer.
Yeah.
To be able to bridge that gap a lot more.
Yeah.
And I felt really disconnected. I just wanted to be here for that.
Yeah.
But also I was just like, man, with that bottle of emotions and feelings, as well as me feeling like, okay, I ultimately want to do something that I've been passionately wanting to do and fully go after, which is, you know, my artistry.
Yeah, so it was kind of two things, right? Your son being closer, and then pursue your music. Because did you pursue your music? Did you write a little bit when you were doing professional basketball overseas?
Oh yeah,
or?
oh my God, definitely. I had it crazy over there, like especially in Spain. Spain was a fun time, but when I got to the Czech Republic, man, you know, that was a great experience. You know, that was a really great experience, but it got a little crazy, and I think that's where, you know, something really shifted for me when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the States and I'm gonna really focus on doing this music.
What went crazy?
So
party life.
Yeah, so what happened was I ended up meeting a really good friend over there, and she was an artist, and I was the American, right? You know, she was Czech, and but she had connections for studios. So she ended up connecting me with one of my guys over there named Dobry.
Yeah.
And Dobry, I wasn't sure if Dobry even knew English. I was hoping that he did, but I didn't know until she actually connected the dots. So once me and Dobry got connected through text, you know, we were just trying to, you know, we was talking, and then once I realized that he knew English, it was on and popping. Like once
so you recorded in Czech Republic.
I recorded in Czech Republic. I even shot music video in Czech Republic. It's called "Throw It Back." You know, I shot it.
I need to check it out.
Yeah, check that video out. Throw It Back. Shot it. It was actually the video that Rihanna shot. Please don't stop the music. Yeah. I had the owner in the video too. If you see the owner was the one who handed me the mic. Like he was super cool.
Nice.
But yeah, yeah, the Czech, man, it was a great time out there. But Coach, he ended up finding out, because literally that day when I went to the studio and I met with Dobry, he wanted to hear some of my music. So I'm like, all right, bet, let's go, right? So I ended up.
Okay, who? Coach or Dobry?
Dobry. So Dobry wanted to hear some of my music, right? So this is the engineer. He the engineer, right? But he's worked with Americans. He he worked with people from all over, you know. So that's why he knows Czech and English, right? So I was like, all right, perfect. Like, this is my guy. We locked in. And so we built a great connection. So next thing you know, when we was playing my music, next thing you know, a couple other guys from another studio, they came over. They came in. They was like, yo, what song is that? Like,
it's cool.
Yeah. So Dobry like, that's him. So they was like, oh, that's your song. I'm like, yeah. He was like, bro, my name DJ Mad Scale. He's like, yo, I DJ. You know, like, I would love to play this song tonight. Like, would you let me rock this thing? I was like, yeah, I got you. She's like, yo, come holler at us after you done with your session.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, all right, cool, I got you. I'm gonna slide over there. So next thing you know, the other kid started. He was like, yo, so just let you know, he's like, my name Yemi. He was like, I'm the promoter. He was like, listen, if you want, you and your boys, if you and your boys want to, a table tonight, I got you. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. So it's like.
So they set me up the whole time. So I'm like, all right, because they do know I'm a professional athlete over there too, right? Gotcha. That's why they know I'm not, so they trying to get me the whole. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna holler at them after this session.
Yeah.
So me and Dobry, we just locked back in. We create, and I think that's where I might have created Yammer. Created Yammer in Czech Republic.
Gotcha.
So next thing you know, after the session, went over to the other studio. Next thing you know, first thing I get over there, like, yo, put that song on. I'm like, all right, cool. So the next thing you know, they started playing the music. We rocking, we chilling. So next thing you know, I had a couple of my teammates. They ended up coming down to Prague. Because I was in Prague at the time.
Yeah.
But where I stayed was in Kolín. So they came down, and next thing you know, we ended up going to the club. So we went to It was Fancy Lounge. Fancy Lounge,
Yeah.
the little underground club.
Yeah.
Right under, man. So next thing you know,
With stone.
did everything crazy. So we had it at Fancy Lounge. So, but I didn't know how the club looked at first because remember he was just telling me about it.
Yeah.
I'm going off of just the women. These guys seem super cool. The studio night, everything is seem legit. I don't think he gonna play around like he. You get me right? In it all, he was everything he said.
Yeah.
He backed it up, right?
Wow.
Because we got to the club. The club was amazing. They set us up with the VIP.
Gotcha.
And we had a good time. It was a movie, and this is where where it was just them supposed to play the song and us just have a good time. To now the club is super packed, and then next thing you know, Yimmy come to me. He's like,
"You gotta perform."
Exactly.
Dude, you gotta perform.
Exactly. He's like, bro, you gotta perform this. So you're like, what you?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
all right,
let's do it. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So next thing you know, man, literally they give me this crazy intro. We got my boy Tweens from Miami about to shut.
Yeah.
Crazy. Next thing you know, I get up there, get on the mic. Next thing you know, I start turning it up. DJ Mask will bring me in. Movie. I'm talking about by the time I got to the second hook, everybody in the crowd, they knew my hook. They was throw it back. They was like rapping. I'm like, yo, these people are check. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh snap. Like the energy was so crazy. They turned up. I'm like, oh. Then I finished the song. Then they like, one more song. Well, I'm like, like this is crazy. But you gotta think, I play basketball.
Gotcha. So there was the confusion starting, right? It was like shit, like. So now it gets crazy. So now I end up trying to get back into the VIP. Now everybody, it's too much going on now. Now they know I'm a rapper. Now it's like it's a whole bunch of stuff, right? Gotcha. So now I'm leaving the club. Man, they got the kids. They all outside. Yo, we taking pictures and it's just a lot, right? So I ended up leaving. And I ended up I think I went to M1 after that. M1. I went to another club, M1. And we ended up closing out over there because it got too crazy at that club. You feel me? But it was a fun night, and I think after that, that's where my confusion, because I had a couple days off, so that's why I was in Prague. Okay. Makes sense. I didn't have practice the next day. So I had off, so I got a chance to stay down. I had a whole, so I stayed down there. Contemplating, right? And thoughts. Yeah, but this is where it got tricky because literally when I went back to Colleen, we had practice, right? Yeah. I'm feeling good. I still had that day to recover. I went shopping a little bit that day. You feel me? Got back. I had more time to rest. I'm ready for practice, right? Next thing you know, like our GM don't really come to practice like that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But literally during this practice, next thing you know, we at the end of practice, and then the GM walks in. So I'm literally running out stretch right now. Because I'm American, so I'm running out stretch. Closing out practice, and next thing you know, I see the GM and coach. They talking. So next thing you know, coach busts out, Antoine, come here. So I'm like, problem. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on, right? So I get up. So he tells one of my other teammates finish the stretch. So I go over to coach. I go up to the bleachers, and then I get there and I look at coach, and then he's sitting next. They both sit next to each other, and then he looks at me. He's like, so this was his nickname for me. Swaggy. Yep, he called me Swag because I was always swag. Yeah, Swaggy. So he's like, Swaggy, are you some type of rapper or something? How did he find out? They got a picture of exactly, and it says Miami rapper shuts down Fancy Lounge. And it's a picture with me with the microphone like this. Yeah. DJ, but I'm like, fuck. I'm like, coach. Yeah, I do music. It's something I do back at home, like, because they ain't bring me out here to fucking do music, right? Exactly. Yeah, so they don't give a fuck. You feel me? Gotcha. So I'm like,
Yeah.
So were there some rules in the contract where
Yeah, exactly.
you cannot party type of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
you know, in that moment now, in their
Yeah.
eyes, I became like the partier, right? So now they got top flight surveillance.
Well, they
on
have
me
a
now.
problem because
Exactly.
you can take the teammates to party and this and that, right?
Exactly.
So it's like not good for the team.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but it wasn't my thing about taking the teammates to party. Do we have a good time? Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But like my main goal was to make sure that, at the end of the day we won games, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was something that I produced on the court. That was
Gotcha,
never
gotcha.
I wouldn't have went out if we had practice the next day, right?
Yeah,
But we got
yeah.
2 days off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we got days off for, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do things that we want,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
balance. And that's when I kind of like had to tell them, and they literally was watching me full-fledged, like,
Yeah.
and I had to like,
That's it.
yeah, like like I was like, man, it was crazy. And then I literally after that, a couple days later, Yemi the promoter and them, they reached out to me and they was like, Tweez, that was crazy. Like,
yeah.
now what they want to do? They want to do more shows. They want to do more opportunities. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
Of course not. You on contract with the basketball team and stuff.
I'm here to play basketball,
Yeah.
But
But it intrigued.
But in that moment we saw an opportunity because we seen what we did. That performance was so crazy.
Yeah.
We had people so lit, turned up. It was like, man, we gotta do this. We gotta do this more.
Yeah.
Right, and they
So
was
what
willing.
happened then?
So I literally had to like really just focus on basketball. I still go to the studio, from here and in and record it. Yeah, but as far as just like going out, I didn't really go out
And perform, yeah.
no more of that, and it just, I was like, I think after this year, I'm gonna really focus on my artistry, and
So it was kind of like a light bulb coming out,
mm-hmm.
and go, shit, there is something,
Yeah,
right? So you, at that moment, you actually decided that you're going back to States, plus conversation with your son,
mm-hmm.
right, back and forth. So you came back to Miami. Where did you come back from?
Yeah.
Czech?
Miami was always home.
Always home.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and once I left Baltimore, like Miami was always the place where I went back.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of like,
And how old were you when you came back from overseas? Like 20 what? 5, 6?
Yeah, I was around like that. Down, yep, 25,
Right.
26.
So then you stay in Miami how long? For how long?
I left Miami when I was 28.
So kind of 2-3 years, still hustling, still going into
Yep,
industry.
I was still living in that Miami
Yeah.
life, just like, just now really full-fledged artist, music, like
going,
grinding.
Yeah.
You feel me? And just like,
So did you actually pursue full out music and it paid your bills, or did you have like a side hustle to actually
yeah, I think
support
for me,
yourself, or did you earn enough money overseas to actually fund you to pursue this career? Did you save up money from the basketball?
yeah, I think it was a little bit of everything. It was a little bit of, saving up a little bit of money,
Yeah.
but also finding little ways to, hustle and make extra
Gotcha,
money
gotcha.
and, to survive.
Yeah.
But the goal was, that's when I really started learning that I got to take, music as a business and trying to figure out ways to generate income from it, right? But
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
understand what it is, it's a brand.
Exactly,
And now,
right.
it's evolving even more than what it is. And, now it's about like what, as you as the brand, whatever your product is, how can this be valuable to others? How can this help, other people? How can that be valuable? So I think that's the one thing
So you started actually, when you came back, you started actually thinking about, okay, I need to treat it as a business.
Mhm.
I need to just take the reins in my hands and just push it
being
forward.
my own entrepreneur,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
just like really,
So that's the birth of entrepreneurship in you when you came back,
Yeah.
right? So at that point, how many songs did you have like out, and how many songs in the, in your notebook, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where were you at artistically, like having songs out or singles out, and then material that you wanted to bring out at that time?
See, that's a good question. It's so crazy because, well, for me, I gotta really just give it honest.
Yeah.
When you look at my catalog, on Apple Music, Spotify,
Yeah.
you'll see 3 albums like the ones you named before. Choosen Szn, Spirit Animal, Posh Life The Movie.
Posh Life The Movie.
Those are the albums, right? But during this whole journey of us talking, like I got other 3 projects that's out there. You know what I mean? That I created, and this is when the mixtape era was popular.
Yeah.
And I never really used a lot of other people beats. It's always original music. So I like to say it's still like, albums, but it was just during the mixtape era.
Gotcha.
And my day ones, they can go find those, if you was listening to Tweez at the time, you probably got that project, right? And it's people that knew me from then that probably don't even know me now. This song was tough, but I got
it changed, your style changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the name changed from Tweez to This day TDSG.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I got it, man.
See,
I got it.
No, but once you know what it means, you
this
never
day, This day TDSG. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
got it.
Yeah.
So that's why the change of the name.
Yeah.
When did it came to life? When you came to LA or already in Miami started to play with this idea to change the name from Tweez?
Yeah, my first music video was in LA. That's where I shot my first music video. I flew here.
Yeah.
Because even when I was living in Miami, I flew to LA. And this is where I shot Chuck Taylor's and Levi's video.
Gotcha.
So I shot that video here. I shot Smoke Kush Blow Haze.
Yeah.
And these are a couple records that did really well at this time.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And that was my way of like, going after what I wanted, like
Gotcha.
flying to LA, shooting a music video. So I was, but yeah, I got 3 mixtapes out there, so you can go check them things out on my first mixtape was called Nutty Buddy Lifestyle. Nutty Buddy Lifestyle was my first project that I ever dropped. That's on platform DatPiff. I don't even know if you can still get that. I don't even know if that website's still up. DatPiff, I don't. But
this is under Tweez. Still.
Tweez.
Yeah.
So that's just under Tweez, TWEEZ, Nutty Buddy Lifestyle, NBL.
Yeah.
Right? So that's when I was Tweez Mr. Nutty. And then, man, crazy, the evolution. And then my second project was Smooth Rap. And then Smooth Rap, I think I released that on my mixtapes.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that was another project that is a whole nother, body of work for me. Under Tweez, right?
Gotcha.
And that's Smooth Rap. And then my third project that I released, that was a mixtape, and that's back on the DatPiff platform.
Yeah.
And that one was called AAO, Against All Odds. So that was another project that I released, all original music. All my projects are all original music beats that we created from scratch. And I've been doing that my whole career. You know what I mean? But and you would never even know those. I created those bodies of work if I didn't tell you that, right?
Exactly, yeah, because
the only thing you see on the surface, right? And that's my catalog that I'm growing now. But,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned when we had the conversation, that you entered the corporate life. Tell me about the corporate life a little bit, because you told me that because you entered that, whether it was because you want to, support yourself or whatever the reason was, right? You said that you learned a lot for your music and treat it as a business because you learned from the corporate world. Tell me about this endeavor and your corporate situation, or the corporate experience that you had, and what it brought, what it actually showed you, and what you took for your music in terms of, I can take that and incorporated my music and treat it as a business, as a brand.
Yeah, I think that was exactly. Sorry, that was this right here. This is definitely that whiskey.
No worries. All good. Get a zip and let's continue, man.
I think it was definitely.
Keep going.
Me wanting to be a sponge.
Yeah.
Me wanting to learn more from people that were already doing it and doing it at a high level.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to. That's who I want to learn from. Because I want to apply that to my business. To my company, so that way I can do the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Some of the best advice that I've learned from, especially the corporate world is, when you see something that's being done, you copy and paste. Don't try to change something that ain't already, if it don't.
That it works.
You feel me?
Works.
Like,
right.
If it's showing that it already worked, you copy and paste it. If you can, make it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then let somebody copy and paste that.
Gotcha.
Right? And that's.
So what was the world or the entering? I don't know if you can mention the name of the corporation, whatever, but where did you go? You went to management, you went to sales, you went to what was the?
Yeah, I think for me it was more about the sales and the marketing, right? It's about having a product, right? Learning how to market the product.
Yeah.
And that was something that I wanted to kind of learn on when I look at it from myself, right? From my,
gotcha.
How can I sell? How can I, the product? And for me being able to,
but it's pretty smooth, I think, I think it comes easy to you, kind of, talk and feel the situation where you at and kind of incorporate that sales whatever, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I you're not pushy, in terms of like, oh yeah, you gotta check it out. You just keep it out there,
Yeah. And I think that's what it has to be that way. And that's you got to learn how to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where, like, when you learn how to build value, you got to bringing something that's valuable to the table.
Gotcha.
You got to be able to make it make sense for whoever the consumer is.
Yeah.
So that way you can build that product, build the value of it.
Yeah. Got it. So how long was your corporate endeavor?
Well, for me, I think I've been in the corporate realm for almost like 2 years. Where
You still are, or?
Well, for me, I think now I'm kind of in that transition where I'm really I learned everything that I need to learn, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'm really focusing on my brand and my company, because when you partner with a Fortune, the corporate world, it requires a lot of time, right?
Course.
A lot of time and energy, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I feel that, I've invested a lot of time and energy towards it. And now for me, I've been such a student to the game that I feel like I have enough knowledge that now I can apply that to, my game plan,
stuff. Yeah.
right? And now let's continue to keep pushing. Let's continue to keep evolving, because I'm on a mission still, right? We ain't done yet.
Gotcha.
I feel like I ain't even scratched the surface. But once I get there, we got a lot more to do. We're going to inspire a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm here to do.
You say we. Do you have partners in your enterprise?
Because I don't feel like I'm doing it alone. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I feel like people that support me, we doing this together. When we
on
spreading
the
this
team,
message. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So you said again. Oh, and he's an entrepreneurship person, right?
Entrepreneur. For sure.
So you have a brand. Can I say it?
Yeah.
He has a brand coming out, a sports brand.
Yeah.
Called Posh Fit.
Posh Fit.
Posh Fit. Right. Now, Posh Life, the movie. Is it an music album, or is it a real movie?
A lot of people always ask me that. No, it's literally, I like to say, man, it's like a chapter in my life, right? It is definitely a movie when you go all the way from the first record from HFIC all the way down to the last record, Elegant Rap.
Gotcha.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey through, my mind, my personality. What I mean? You get a little bit of different of everything, but when you finish you get to the elegance of it. It's like, you know, just sipping some wine or sipping some good whiskey, right?
Yeah.
It's very tasteful. You go through different flavors and tastes, but when you finish that thing, it's like, it's real soothing.
Gotcha.
You're like, damn, that was a good taste.
Yeah. So let's just, I wanna like put all those things together because you had so many experiences throughout your life, right? So corporate life, you know, when did you start an entrepreneurship journey? When you came back to States, you felt like, okay, I need to start to add, not just, I cannot be just an artist and produce music. I need to have an overall brand or overall like, I guess corporation or a company movement, right?
You know.
So how did this, you know, Posh Fit line started? Because it's Posh Fit, like, you know, hoodies, and you told me about it before the podcast. So what is Posh Fit?
Yeah, so Posh Fit is my apparel brand. So that's the Posh Fit is the fitness apparel. To my Posh Life shop, right? Which is, you know,
okay. What is Posh Life shop?
Posh Life shop is, you know, that's my brand, right? That's,
gotcha.
You know, that's where you can get a little bit of that lifestyle wear, or you can get some fitness apparel.
Gotcha.
You know, so
it's a clothing brand.
Yep.
Got it. How did it came to life? How long ago? Like.
Yeah, I think it started with me. It started with me creating hats.
You
know, for me just creating, you know, hats where, you know, I used to, you know, just get my, you know, my brand. I used to have Posh Life hats, you know, Posh Gang, you know, TDSG hats.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was just like supporting that. It started with just that little entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
but for me, it was big, you know, just having people represent the brand. Right?
Gotcha.
And it wasn't something that was really so big, but it was just something I knew that I needed to do as far as just like my brand. You know, it had to be bigger than the music. And I think that's where, you know, it kind of evolved to, you know, me, you know, wanting to create more, have, you know, really fall in love with style. So not just having something that just said TDSG, I mean, or something that just said, you know, Tweez or Posh Life, but now let's create a, you know, a lifestyle where let's create something fun. Let's, you know, so now, you know, I got the fitness apparel coming to as well because I've always been an athlete, right?
Yeah.
And now, you know, I think, you know, it's a lifestyle for me. So that's something I want to, you know, inspire other people to do and look good while they're doing it. You know what I mean? So that's why we created the Posh Fit, and it's super fire. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's super comfortable. I work out in it all the time. I know, you know, I have people in the gym always ask like, yo, what's that Posh Fit?
Yeah.
You know, but it's coming soon. I also got a few designs for the ladies too as well. Couple color schemes.
Nice.
All different designs. You know, with the, you know, the Posh Fit on there.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of the lifestyle things. You know, lifestyle wear, which is, you know, hoodies, t-shirts, you know, hats, socks.
You told me about the smoothie cup with affirmation and stuff.
Man, I'm excited for that too. That's something I use for my workouts too as well. It's you know, it's a affirmation glass, you know, and it comes with, you know, like those little teacups that you have where they have those affirmations. So now you're gonna have your smoothie glass, right?
Gotcha.
Where you got
especially for workouts, right?
Yeah, you can use it for workout. You can take it to office. You can take it to work. You
exactly.
Can, you know, have it on a ride to, you know, whatever you want to. This thing is used for whatever you want. It's easy to wash. You know, it comes already with a straw. I mean, with a straw and a straw cleaner. So so it comes with everything already pretty usable. You can put that thing in a dishwasher. It's easy to wash.
This is what he learned in the corporate world, to sell. My man.
Come on.
No, it's good. It's good. So it just organically came to life. This part of your brand, right? Like this, it's like, I can't even call it side hustle because it kind of evolved from, you know, your music, TDSG, you know, TDSG. I said it right. Fuck,
you did. Yes. Right on. Come on, let's go.
There we go. So, do you have like of course, you have your passion, right? You go in, and we chatted. We had this conversation. You pursuing music, then basketball, then going back and forward, being torn between basketball and your music, right? Then you come back, you go like, yeah, I need to grow my brand. So you go into just hats. It evolves into a fucking thing that you starting out fitness, this lifestyle, and so on, right? And we talked about where I'm going is that you told me that there is a bigger message in what I'm doing. You said, what's the message?
I think the message, for me is like to never give up. And I feel like we can say that, right? But we can find every excuse on why to give up. But when you remember everything that you overcome, that's purpose.
Yeah.
And you never know what your purpose can do to change someone else's life.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, man, like, I'm using my music as a message, but I know how many other people I'm going to be able to connect to, with other things too as well. So me, I understand music is definitely the platform. It's something how I express myself. It's some therapy for me too as well. But I know it's bigger than that. And I'm looking not only to just inspire people through music, but through, just
fitness. You're running marathons.
3 marathons
right?
in, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. So you active.
Not 6, 3.
Not 6, 3. It's not the
6 projects. I got 6 projects.
It's not the Illuminati shit that he's referring to. It's 3.
I'm not Illuminati. If I was Illuminati, I'd probably have a lot more things. If I was Illuminati,
going on,
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I'm not.
So did you encounter Illuminati? Let's just sidetrack a little bit. Did you have any opportunity to interact?
Man, let's just say this, man. I lived in Miami. A lot of things go on in Miami. Everything runs through that city, believe it or not,
So you encountered some
I've been in the mix. I've had my encounters, and I'm not here for the clout chasing. I ain't here for none of that.
Yeah.
You feel me? But, I've definitely, been in the mix, amongst some of your biggest stars for sure.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to go there.
Man,
I can see it in your.
I got
see it in your face, man.
Man.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I got some stuff, man. I got some stuff on the hard drive.
Gotcha. All right, so the message is clear. You want to inspire people, right? Through what you went through, right? There's a way out. You gotta continue, because on the other side there's a reward there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you say that the physical or the sportsman or athletic endeavors, basketball, right? You were physically active. Would you say this added to your persistence, to your discipline, to your endurance in terms of pursuing music, going and get what you want to get?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it added?
Yeah, I definitely.
You know what I'm asking?
Nah, I definitely feel like that added to, who I am.
To all the trainings to actually keep going, keep fucking grinding,
this ain't happening overnight. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Right?
I feel like I'm definitely a walking testimony. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like I got a message to deliver.
Yeah.
And I'm here to be that light. And I know it ain't always peaches and cream. But for me, it's like I want to make sure that I do my part.
Yeah.
And as long as I could do my part, we good to go, baby.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No, I know. Listen, always when we interact, when we, text or call or whatever, right? It's like, how you doing? I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Like just saying that, you already feel like shit. This guy went through some shit, You know what I mean? Like, and then he goes, yeah, I'm blessed. And then you're grinding, you go and I see it on Instagram, always posting, always going for it,
Yeah, I don't know what marathon we going after next, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, guys. Let me know what marathon y'all think I should run next. I don't know.
New York.
Yeah.
When is the New York one?
I'm not sure. We gotta look up when the New York one is.
Yeah.
But 2 LA's, 1 Boston. I feel like I've ran a marathon every year. So if I don't run one here this year, so I've ran a marathon every year since 2020. So
Nice.
I ran a marathon 2020,
Yeah.
2021, 2022.
Even with the pandemic, with masks and shit.
No, it was right before the pandemic.
Okay, gotcha.
And then after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then if I don't run a marathon this year, this could be my first year where I kind of like sit out. I feel like I always go do somewhere. I always sit out a year and then I bounce back, right? Is that a thing? Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it too, right? Like, I don't know, but I, went into this corporate realm, but literally, I'm trying to figure out what the next one is. So, we gearing up. We running. We back to it.
Gotcha.
So, I'm back training.
Yeah, you lost some weight because when did we meet? Like a year ago, something like that.
It definitely was like a little over a year ago. Yeah.
I was building my studio. I remember.
Man, you brought this thing to life.
Yeah.
Like, you really brought this to life. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love what you did to the place, D.
You saw the bare thing, like when the bricks and everything.
I saw when it was just like
nothing, naked.
It was at the beginning stages, baby. But when you see some persistence and vision, this is it, man. I love
Thanks, man.
The aura. I love the aura in here. I wish I was about to say cheers to it again, but I love it. My neighbors are listening to great music, whether they like it or not.
Exactly.
Yammer,
man. Listen, this was great. This was great. I really, when I hit you up, like, come, let's do that shit. Let's do the podcast. I'm running already, doing stuff, and you go, yeah, let's do it. Da. Within what, 24 hours, we made it happen. Like, you're not fucking around. It's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to the end, and where are we? Oh, 150. Not bad. 150.
Not bad at all.
2 hours almost. So my last two questions. One fun one, and one, of course, the life lessons you've learned following your passion, right? But the first one would be, what is, in your case, a concert or a show, right? Because you're not a dancer, but you singing, right? So what would be the ideal, the best show, the most touching show for you as a performer? Not necessarily as a performer doing the show, but when you see a show as an audience, right? You as an audience, what would be the most impactful emotional show? Let's say, big lights or the lyrics of the song or whatever comes to your mind. What makes a show great?
Yeah, I think for me it's the performance, right? It's the energy, it's the delivery.
Yeah.
I really came up from that hip hop era, so I really want to see that energy, right?
Yeah.
But I also look for people to be really connected to that story, to that message, to that songs, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want a little bit of everything, for my ideal show, right?
So a little bit of story, a little bit of performance, a little bit of, entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
I want to be able, I like those artists that love to connect with the crowd too as well, right?
Gotcha.
That's something that's really big.
Yeah.
Rather than just getting up there on stage and just rapping, right? But actually really connecting and using the audience, you know, to your actual real life performance.
Gotcha.
The
Awesome,
authenticity behind it, yeah.
Awesome, man. Do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I got some upcoming shows, you know, in the works right now. We haven't figured or really, you know, solidified anything, so I won't, you know, really say any dates yet.
Yeah.
But we're working on a couple situations because it definitely it's time for me to get back on that stage and
yeah, you had recently show in LA, right? Where
was it was in West Hollywood. That was a fun. It was a vampires and Halloween. It was a Halloween, you know, Halloween party. Yeah. And we just wanted to get up there on the stage and have some fun. We had, you know, a great turnout. You know, people came out and had a good time. You know, in our Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Did you dress up for that?
I was a vampire. You know,
there you go, vampire.
A vampire.
From the Transylvania.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, my man. So that's the final question of the podcast. What are those? I feel like, man, you will be here another hour when you start with the lessons.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But okay, so let's just condense that to maybe 2 or 3 life lessons that you really learned following your passion, following your music, or even basketball, you know, like what was the most impactful life lessons for you, you know?
That you only can control the things that you can control. You got to learn to hold yourself accountable, but you also got to be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, in so many ways, you know, but also, you know, understand that things are a lot bigger than you.
So there is some shit out of your control you cannot control.
How many times that happens a day?
Yeah.
Think about it. I'm thinking, you got to think about things. I'm giving, you know, gems of things that we encounter every day.
Yeah.
That you got to now put yourself in that perspective and mentality. So therefore, when you are aware of it, you know how to handle it, right? And that's how you're able to channel these things. You're able to be a lot more persistent and consistent through life. So even when you are making changes, you still know how to be adaptable.
Of course.
So, yeah.
I have a question. What was your life lesson being homeless on the street?
I would say my life lesson was
either going into it or like during this time, because it's like
never be afraid to ask questions. Yeah. Never be afraid to ask questions. Don't just go along with it because it sounds good.
Yeah.
So if you're unsure, ask. Because they ain't going to give it to you if you don't ask.
Yeah. So you're referring before or during the period? When you were...
I didn't ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I was just happy to, you know, be doing what I was doing, you know, rather than understanding what I was doing.
So you're referring to time leading up to being homeless, I guess, right? Because you were happy doing music. You were happy, you know, you had the manager, you had the thing going on for you, so you go like happy go lucky.
Yeah, I didn't need to be homeless. I could have, you know, went, you know, but I wasn't going to settle to go back to Baltimore. I wasn't going to settle. I wasn't going to give up on myself. You know, I knew that I knew I was more than capable to figure something out.
Yeah.
You know, and I would have, you know, for me, honestly, it would have felt like I failed if I ended up going back, you know. So for me, I knew I had to figure it out.
Gotcha. Man, this was fun conversation, man. I knew this was good, but I mean, you shocked me with some shit you told me about yourself, man. I mean, tough life, man.
Seriously, man, this was good, man. I had a real good time, D, and I just want to say thank you for having me here.
No, thank you for coming and you know, to just have a great time, have a conversation, and yeah, whatever you feel like saying for the audience, and to check something out, whatever you have going on, with your Posh Fit or whatever you want to say. There's the camera, there's the message. Go for it.
Y'all already know World. It's the kid, TDSG. Man, I'm here with my guy D. Listen, this was a great podcast. We got a chance to, talk life, talk lessons. But literally, if you heard anything, stay tuned. It's a lot more on the way. We got music, we got fashion, we got fitness. So you can get a little bit of everything. I got the clothing coming. I got a new single that's getting ready to drop. New project.
Can we hear the name? What's the name
of the project?
Yeah. Can we?
You know what? Yeah. I feel like this name is something. I feel like my music is always told it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for this next project. I'm really excited for it, and it's called Never Too Late.
Never Too Late. So stay tuned for Never Too Late.
Never Too Late.
This is, and always will be Judgment Free Zone. My name is Danya the Gypsy. And yeah, we come in with another guest in another podcast. Thank you very much, TDSG.
Daniel.
Antoine.
D.
Thank you very much, man.
Much love. Blessings.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.